Hello, my name is Michael Hegland, and today I will be talking about why immigration detention is necessary in the United States. First off, what is immigration detention? Well, immigration detention is a practice used by the United States that involves putting immigrants in a detention center as they await determinations on their status in the United States. Like if they're eligible to receive medical counsel and legal counsel. However, such immigrants that are put into these facilities face harsh conditions when it comes to those things. And this picture here shows what it's like to be in one of these detention centers. As you can see, everyone is packed together. And they don't look too happy. And the United States has been expanding on this practice ever since the 1980s, detaining millions of immigrants in 200 centers across the nation. That's a lot of immigrants. So why is it necessary? Well, many studies have shown that there are more illegal immigrants coming into the United States than there were back in the 1990s. And this graph here shows just that. In 2016, the population of unauthorized immigrants was 11.3 million, as opposed to 1990, where it was 3.5 million. One of the immigration detention's main goals is to slow this process by checking each immigrant's credentials before allowing that immigrant to legally live in the United States. Along with illegal immigration, there are three reasons why this technique is necessary, according to the Center for Immigration Studies, and they are deterrence, public safety, and system integrity, which we will now get into. Deterrence. This term is basically defined as discouraging a particular action because of its terrible consequences. Kind of like how a parent tries to keep a child from climbing on the furniture because that child might get hurt. In this case, if immigration detention were to discontinue, these immigrants could blend into the population, especially with the illegal immigrants already living in the country. Therefore, they would, in a sense, get lost in the crowd, and it would be harder to find the immigrants that were once living in immigration detention. Public safety. Illegal immigrants coming into the United States is bad enough, but a lot of immigrants manage to pass the border by posing as a different person, and a lot of these fakes come without an identification and manage to forge some documents. And there is the chance that some of them could be terrorists waiting for their chance to cause some mayhem in the country. And this picture basically shows what might happen if a terrorist came into the United States and caused some mayhem. And no one wants to see any terrorist attacks or be fooled by someone claiming to be someone else. So why take the chance of getting rid of this useful idea? System integrity. This term basically means that something is doing its intended functions without any major problems that are caused by internal or external environments. Kind of like how a factory machine functions properly. Keeping a system in balance and working efficiently is of utmost importance, especially on a state or national government issue. Letting these immigrants that live in detention centers run free is extremely consequential, but not just because of fakes and terrorists. Some of these immigrants, when faced with legal action, fail to follow through with those actions and cause even more problems as they stay in the nation. And I chose this balance because it represents two things here. Balance in the court and balance as a general term. Gotta keep balance in the system integrity. Now, some people would argue that the conditions of immigration detention would be too harsh for all the immigrants that come to the United States. There is a solution to this, but not removing the whole idea altogether. Instead, the government should lighten up on the conditions that the immigrants must face. and maybe give them better opportunities for medical care, homeowning, and legal consent, as I explained earlier. And other people might say that not all of the immigrants are destined to cause mayhem in the country. That being said, not all of them are terrorists and all that. But immigration detention is useful because the government can find out who the bad people are. And if we were to let all immigrants free, the terrorists might cause some mayhem in the country. So why take the chance until the government knows for sure who is good and who is bad? And this is a list of my works cited.